Let's be real. Most people were trained to trade time for money. Go to school, get a job, work hard, then retire. But what if I told you that's the slowest way to get rich? Because wealthy people don't sell their time, they sell outcomes. Wealth file number 11. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time, which is limited. Here's the truth. Poor thinkers cling to the security of a paycheck. Rich thinkers create paydays. They say, if I can produce results, I can write my own check. When you detach your income from your time and connect it to your value, you enter the same game the wealthy play, the ownership game. Imagine two different people. Person A says, I make $40 an hour. Person B says, I make 10% of every deal I close. Person A can only earn more by working harder. Person B can earn more by thinking smarter. Which one sounds free? I know that for a lot of us, person B sounds like it's going to be super hard to get that 10%. How am I going to get those contracts? How am I going to get those clients? But go back to your other wealth file that says focus on the opportunity, not the obstacles. So this is why all of these files are important for you to build upon so that you won't limit yourself when you hear the next one and the next one. You're going to go back to the ones you heard first and start applying those to think bigger throughout the rest of this series. These are the wealth files rewritten, and you need all 17 of these files to truly transform your life, your thinking, your subconscious, and your wealth money mindset. When I first became a real estate agent, I worked for hours and hours and hours trying to figure out how to be successful as an entrepreneur and trying to apply what I learned from taking that test to get my license. Guess what? None of that mattered when it came into the world of getting paid upon my value. What mattered was, first of all, lead generation, finding clients that were willing to work with me. And what else mattered was my value proposition. What set me apart? What about me would make them trust me enough to sell their largest asset? That requires deep thinking and smart strategy because it's very competitive. But I'm telling you, the checks that you make from being a real estate agent and an investor are well worth the time and the competition, because sometimes it's the salary that someone makes in a year from one deal. Think about that. That is insane. Sometimes we make more than doctors and lawyers from one deal. It's real, guys. So I want to challenge you to be paid based upon your value that you bring to the marketplace and not always exchanging time for money. I'm not telling you to quit your job right now and to jump out there and be an entrepreneur. I'm telling you to keep your job, but also find a way to get paid upon your value, whether that's within your job. And you say, you know what? I'm great at what I do. I'm an expert. Let me be an independent contractor and you pay me a percentage of what I bring in for this company. If you guys were paid a percentage for all the work that you do in the major corporation that you work for, you would be extremely wealthy. They pay you a salary so that they can make the big bucks. Let's think about that. That company is making billions of dollars. You are capped at a ceiling of maybe $100,000 a year or less. And you haven't even been paid 1% of what they're walking away with annually. But if you left that place, they probably would lose money because you do majority of the work. You have the knowledge, you have the expertise. You could go out and start a side business doing that same profession, make more money, and save more on taxes. Let's be strategic, y'all. We are wealth builders. We are not time for money exchangers anymore. We have to eliminate that belief that that's the only way to produce a good living and revenue. How do investors make six figures off one deal? While I'm grinding every weekend just to earn a commission, that's when it clicked. They weren't paid for just their time. They were paid for results, for solving problems and creating value. Once I started thinking that way, I stopped counting hours and started counting impact. And that mindset turned my business into a wealth strategy. Yes, I'm still a real estate agent. I still service clients here and there, but I decided that the value of bringing a client into an opportunity that then brings them more money, helps them earn and keep more of their money, is far more important than just being a realtor or an investor. Let's be a strategist. Let's bring you more value to do multiple deals together to then bring myself more value and more income. It's a win-win. You guys, we can't be afraid to promote. We can't be afraid to be higher earners based on extreme value that we have within us. This week, I want you to do a value exchange audit. Write down every way you currently make money. Ask, am I being paid for my time or my results? Circle one area where you could shift from hourly to outcome. Maybe a bonus commission, referral partnership, or a business model that pays you even when you're not present. Then journal for 30 minutes. How can I turn my skills into systems that pay me repeatedly? I want y'all to stop moving on autopilot and to start thinking deeply and just taking some time for yourself to just be silent and to think and to reflect on what we're doing every day and what we've been doing the same for year after year after year. Today, you learn that wealthy people don't trade time, they trade transformation. Your goal isn't to work harder, it's to work higher and to work smarter. In the next episode, we're diving into wealth file number 12. Rich people think both, poor people think either or. Now, you know you can't miss that episode. And again, if you have not downloaded your tax shield formula guide, make sure you do that today. Hit the subscribe button because you should be getting notified for these videos. You need these files to transform your life and your family's life.